Hey, Scott Schrader here with WeAreSC.com and On3 Sports, and we're at Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada today. See 4 of the top players in the nation. 3 of them are from the class of 2022, and they'll be taking official visits to USC this weekend. We got elite safety Zion Branch, big-time outside linebacker Cyrus Moss, and one of the most talented players we don't talk enough about, longtime USC cornerback commit Fabian Ross. The 4th is one of the most electrifying players from the class of 2023, wide receiver Zachariah Branch, who also happens to be Zion's younger brother. So all 4 of these guys, plus we talked to earlier today, Jovante Barnes, running back from Desert Pines. We just wanted to get these guys' thoughts on the hiring of Lincoln Riley and what they hope to gain from this official visit to USC this weekend. We're Desert Pines High School, and we're here with elite 4-star running back Jovante Barnes, and you have an upcoming official visit to USC, and you know, USC, you weren't really feeling USC too strongly. That was my impression. You know, before Lincoln Riley took over as head coach, but you were really strong on Oklahoma. What is it about Lincoln Riley that now has put USC back in the picture?
I mean, first off, he's an amazing person, and while he was at Oklahoma, I just loved the type of person he was. He always gave great energy, and something I'm looking at as a running back is a head coach that's also an OC. So he's an offensive coordinator, and I know he's not going anywhere for some years. And he's just that guy. When he was at Oklahoma, you seen what he was doing there. He had so many people go to the league from him. So I know him being at USC and how good they have, so many good players they have, he's going to put it together. They're going to be amazing again.
When I was here last time, which is probably about 3 months ago, maybe not that long ago, you know, I was feeling like Oklahoma was going to be hard to beat, and I think you were kind of feeling that at that time. There's more going on though with Lincoln Riley and the offense that is going to go into a decision if USC was to be the school. They don't have a running backs coach yet. I mean, what are you hoping to get out of this official visit that may help you make a decision if USC could be the choice?
Well, one of the big reasons why I was on Oklahoma was because DeMarco Murray and just his story kind of relating to mine and similar to mine. So I would say Lincoln Riley trusting in hiring DeMarco Murray from just having 1 year at Arizona. I know he's going to pick somebody that's really good for USC. So we talked about that yesterday because he was telling me that that's something that he knows I'm kind of worried about without them having a running back coach yet. So he's working on it, and I know he's gonna pick somebody good.
All right, you said Lincoln Riley's coming after you hard. What does that mean?
He was coming after me hard at OU. So as soon as he looked at, I kind of already knew the roster at USC. When Coach Hilton was there, so I know what he's talking about now. But he's kind of pushing toward. He's like, "Man, we need you. We barely have running backs, and when you come in, you're gonna make an impact right away." And I believe him because I've seen the roster, so I know what it is. So I know that's a great opportunity to pick up and to play my freshman year, probably even start. So
you've been to USC a few times, so you kind of know what is going on in Los Angeles. What are some things other than the coaching situation that could benefit USC if that would be your choice?
I mean, just starting with NIL, it's a great place to start NIL as a college athlete. It's like a no-brainer. If you want to be successful with the NIL whole thing, and like that's the perfect place. So probably that, and just have teammates like Michael Jackson that go there, and he's a superstar. He's going to be great in a couple of years. It was just his freshman year, but he was just telling me things like this is going to be a great place. It's just definitely with Lincoln Riley, that was the missing key they was missing, and they finally picked it up, and I know he's going to be great.
Okay, taken 4 official visits, right?
Yes, sir.
What are some things that you've gained from those official visits that have benefited you in this recruiting process and that might help you look for certain things at USC going forward this weekend?
Just the whole loyalty thing, and just believing and trusting in coaches, because every official visit I took, it's only because I believed and I trusted the coaches, and it was never a lie. So the whole thing with FSU, they never lied to me. Alabama, they loved me when I went out there and worked out for them. So that's why I took the OV there. And same thing with Oklahoma, and the same thing that was with Utah. I just love Utah, and I love the coach. So I know Utah's not a huge program, but I believe in Utah, and I know they're great for running backs. So that's one of the big reasons. That's something I'm looking for USC. And one of the schools I did take an OV to, they did have Lincoln Riley. So obviously, I know what kind of guy he is, and obviously I trust him enough. That's why I'm taking. I'll switch my OV to USC.
All right, there's a few other kids from Vegas that are going to be at USC this weekend. Do you talk to those guys still at all?
Yeah, like I said, me, Zach, and Zion are close friends, and they even have a commit, Fabian Ross. Me and Fabian are close friends as well. So We always text, and they always told me hit them up when I'm gonna be down there, and I know that they're gonna be down there too, so it's gonna be a good link up.
All right. Top 3 is coming out maybe later this week?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be next week or this week, but it's definitely gonna come out. It's probably gonna be top 3 or top 4. I haven't decided yet.
And why? What's behind those schools that will make your cut? Why did they make it?
It's just a whole lot of thinking and just everything I've been through. Because if you look at my top schools and the visits I did take, it's crazy. It's like the whole coaching staff from each school got switched up, and that's Miami, that's OU, so just looking at those schools and just sitting there and thinking like which one is really the best for me. And it was just 3 schools that I could really think of every time I thought about that.
What All-America Bowl are you playing in?
The Under Armour.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jovante Barnes, one of the top players on the West Coast, one of the top players in the country, visiting USC this weekend. Zion Branch, one of the top players in the country for the class of 2022. You've taken an official visit to USC, so you kind of know what USC has to offer from an academic point of view and what the school can offer. But they've had a coaching change. Lincoln Riley is now the head football coach. You've had a relationship with him. Can you just talk about your thoughts on Lincoln?
I mean, he's a great coach, really great guy. I know, I really had a relationship with him at Oklahoma, and when I visited there, we really hit it off over there with the whole coaching staff too, And when they came over to USC, it was just like, wow, that's crazy that happened ironically for the family, But I take it as a sign.
So it is kind of crazy to have Lincoln Riley is contacting you. He's a head football coach at Oklahoma, and then 2 days later, he's now the head football coach at USC. Yeah. But your relationship is strong. He's one of those coaches that probably does a lot more recruiting as a head coach than anybody that I know, other than Mario Cristobal. Yeah. Can you talk about that part of it?
I mean, he's really, really good with the family. My parents love him. I love him. Even when he came to the house on a home visit, it was just like, we hit it off. From the gate, really. So, I mean, he's really a great guy.
You kept USC in. You told me that USC was probably going to be among your top schools to the finish.
Right.
It felt like mostly because of Dante.
Right.
Where does this put USC right now? Because it kind of seems like the program is going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely agree. It's going in the right direction. USC is just recently they've just been adding more and more things to the list to like. Really, so I mean that's really good for them, really, and they already have the academic side, like you said. But with the football changes they're making, I really like them.
If USC is ultimately to be the school that you choose, what are a few reasons why?
Definitely what they can do for football. I mean after football. Hold on, I actually say that. What they can do for life after football for me, really, and the great academic sides they have, and how much relationships I will build at USC, really.
Who are you still talking to from USC? Jovante Barnes said Lincoln.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Coach Riley, Coach Grinch, even Coach Dante reached out to me yesterday. So I mean, it's really been a lot of communication on the side. Even like Marshall Carrington and Gavin like that. So guys like that are always reaching out to me all the time.
All right, last question. You are leaving Bishop Gorman a state champion.
All right.
Words on that.
I mean, it's a dream come true, really. That was our goal this season to take the state back, and we did that. So, I mean, that was really my main goal of leaving high school with that state championship, and we accomplished that. So, really proud of my team and my guys for that.
Cyrus Moss, this is one of the elite players in the nation. This is one of the guys USC did not have any chance with until Lincoln Riley was hired, and he showed up in your living room, and we didn't know what was going to be happening. Can you just talk about your thoughts on Lincoln Riley and what this coaching hire means?
Yeah, well, it's definitely been game-changing. It's made a ton of waves in the recruiting world, and so I've had to pay attention to it. And Coach Riley was always super successful at Oklahoma, so I think it's really interesting to see USC get a coach of his caliber. So it's intriguing.
You've been to USC. USC was a school you had interest in, but I think you were in like a category like a lot of guys. You didn't have confidence in the direction of the USC football program. Does the hiring of Lincoln Riley show you guys anything about how serious USC is about football?
Definitely, because you hit it. It was definitely, for me, the culture. I felt like the culture was just a little bit off up there. And one of the first things that Coach Riley and Coach Grinch mentioned to me was that they were going to be trying to improve that culture step by step, try to get the right guys in there and push people. So I was glad to hear that, and it sounds like they're on track to get that fixed, get that going on right.
If Riley had been the coach at USC a year ago, would that, I mean, what kind of a difference would that have made a year ago?
Yeah, well, I think it would have definitely made a big difference just to see, really got a chance to see what he's able to do in that year, and kind of see how the culture changed and see how they evolved. I think it would have been good to see if he was back here last year.
Are there aspects of USC that interest you other than Lincoln Riley being the head football coach now?
Definitely the location. I think it's a cool area as far as NIL, as far as being close to home is an interesting one. It never was a big deal for me, but I guess I'll take it in as a bonus now. So, yeah.
What do you hope to gain out of this visit?
Just kind of really get to feel the USC program and see how it's changed, see how it's evolved, and get to further talk with the coaches and get a better understanding of their vision for me and their vision for the program.
All right, just curious. I've asked all the guys that I've talked to today. What was your reaction when you saw the news that Lincoln Riley had been hired at USC?
Well, at first I was just like, wow, that's a huge move. I knew it was going to make a lot of waves, and so I was just kind of waiting to see what happened. And next thing you know, there's people flipping commits and committing from here and there, and so I was like, okay, wow, yeah, this is something to pay attention to. He's doing something.
All right, Cyrus Moss. We'll look forward to seeing you later on, actually early next year at the All-America Bowl in San Antonio. We'll also see you at the Polynesian Bowl. All right, Fabian, you got an official visit coming up this weekend. It's not just you from here at Bishop Gorman, but it's going to be Zion, it's going to be Cyrus Moss, and Zach Branch will be there with you guys also, not an official, but just your impressions of Lincoln Riley first off.
Oh, I think it's going to be it's great for the school, and I'm just ready to go out there and compete and work for a national championship. That's the goal we have. So looking forward to it.
You were one of the guys that committed to USC, and there was no wavering. I mean, we've talked about this several times. What is your hope to get out of this official visit weekend?
Just bond with the new staff, really. So that's the main thing I'm looking forward to. There's a whole new staff at SC, so I just want to make a great relationships with them and build that up. So
why was USC solid from start to finish?
I just always felt like that was a home for me from the minute I stepped there. So, and then I just stick with them the whole way. So I'm just looking forward to get this thing started.
You signing on Wednesday next week,
Yes,
the 15th?
Yes, sir, yeah.
All right, final question. Well, no, there'll be more than one question, but I want to ask you, what does it feel like to be leaving a state champion?
Oh, that's great. That's something we've been working on from years since we lost it at Liberty a few years back. So
yeah.
to finally get that rematch back and take state back feels great. So.
All right, so there could be as many as 15 guys there this weekend.
So.
Now that you're taking the official visit this weekend, Zion and Cyrus will be there. Jovante Barnes will be there from Desert Pines. Does that make this visit extra exciting for you?
Oh yeah, it's going to be even better that I'm going to be on this visit with all my boys. So just looking forward to it. And yeah.
We're Zach Branch, one of my favorite players in the class of 20. It doesn't even matter what class.
Right.
I mean, you're one of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And your brother, Fabian Ross, Cyrus Moss,
Right.
Jovante Barnes from Desert Pines here in Vegas, taking their official visit this weekend. You'll be along for the ride.
Yes,
just talk about you have a relationship with Lincoln Riley,
Right.
so just start with that.
The relationship I built with Lincoln Riley over this time, even when he was at Oklahoma, it's always just been very genuine with him. I mean, we could talk about anything, just talk about family, talk about how school is going, just regular things, not only football. So, I mean, me and him have a great relationship. Yes, sir.
There's not many head coaches that recruit at the level that he does. It seems like is that accurate that he may spend more time? Mario Cristobal's another one.
Right. Oh, yeah, no, he's definitely more on the recruiter side as well, surprisingly, to be a head coach because, they're very busy. I mean, when they take the time out their day to come talk to you and spend time with you and build that relationship with you, it's very important, yeah.
All right, Fabian doesn't really didn't know Lincoln Riley that well.
Right.
There's no cornerbacks coach named yet, so he doesn't even know who the coach is going to be.
Right.
But you also have a relationship with Dennis Simmons, the new wide receivers coach.
Yes, sir. Yeah, me and him had a great relationship at Oklahoma when he was over there. I remember I went on the official visit with my brother, and I told him, I said, how do you think you can use me in your system? And he showed me the exact film that he did with Marquise Brown from when he was a freshman all the way until he went to the NFL. So, I mean, I definitely believe in him and what he can do with me.
Did the hiring of Lincoln Riley, what was your reaction, first of all, when you saw that USC had hired him?
Oh yeah, now when I first saw it, my initial thought was like, is this real? I had to double check on like the main sites, ESPN and stuff like that, but I was definitely excited just seeing that he wanted to make a change at USC. Their program seemed like they were struggling in it a little bit, but I definitely feel like he could change things around real quick, make an impact.
All right, well, you're a lot nicer than I am. The program was not struggling a little bit, but anyway. But just hiring Lincoln Riley and kind of all the talk about the changes that he wants to bring, does that tell you guys, is that a statement that USC's serious about football?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he also talked to us about not only the football aspect, but the academics as well. I mean, it's nothing like USC degree. So, I mean, that's basically the perfect package, the degree, the football. He's going to change the program around, so, I mean, you can't complain.